What's up, guys? It's your boy Shortstack P, back with another episode. Today we're gonna cover UFC 319, DDP versus Kahmzat, and this has been kind of like, in my opinion, a while in the making. You got Kahmzat, which is on a tear, undefeated. Took a few, I guess you'd say, like layoff here and there, due to some visas. One time he missed weight, had to stop under like doctor's orders. They switched the fights around. He ended up fighting Kevin Holland. Then you got, on the other hand, DDP. He has been at the top now for a while and kind of just steamrolled everybody he's went up against. Very awkward in fashion, sense of MMA style, but nobody has an answer for this guy. You look at Israel Adesanya, you look at Sean Strickland twice. A lot of people argued that Sean Strickland won the first fight, and I do believe that, in my opinion, that he did. They fought up in Canada, and just, you know, if you're going round by round off the scorecards, I thought Strickland did win the first fight. It wasn't even close on their second fight, and, you know, MMA math, you know, Strickland beat Izzy, and then it was a close fight with DDP. So the rematch was kind of warranted, but then in the rematch with them, Dricus just did his thing against him and looked phenomenal. So there was no question after that. And if you break down all of Chimaev's, I mean, he was very active until he wasn't, but he is married, to my understanding, to like a Chechen dictator's daughter. So Ramzat Kadyrov, which is like royalty over there, but like kind of a international threat to the U.S. Yada yada. But Dana White is friends with the president, so visa issues aren't visa issues anymore. In my opinion, Kahmzat's not a threat to the U.S. He's doing business. He's working for an American company called the UFC. So we got the visa issue straightened out thanks to Donald Trump and Dana White being friends. And basically, I just wanted to take a little bit and break down that fight, because you got two guys that at hand are both very talented strikers, if you will. One of them's a little bit more crisp and clean with a lot of power. The other one's a little bit awkward and talented with his power. And we've seen Dricus go into deep waters and he just finds a way to win, and he wears his opponents out. And then on the other hand, we've seen Chimaev go into deep waters, like with the Gilbert Burns fight, and that's what everyone talks about, is the Gilbert Burns fight. He got tired, you know, you could see it on him. The Kamaru fight got a little bit of tired. You know, everyone says if those were 5-rounder fights that he would have lost those matches. And other than that, there's not too much to bat an eye about on Chimaev's side of things. He's won some decisions, but has a hell of a lot of finishes as well, just like Dricus does. And if you look at his last bit of work against Robert Whittaker, Bobby Knuckles, the Reaper, who's been in the top 5 since 2018, 19, somewhere in there. The last 5 years, he's been up there. I think 5 years ago, he's the champion for like 3 years or something like that. So he might have been champion 17 through 20 or something like that. Anyway, within the last 5 years, he's always been in the top 5. And you got a guy and Kahmzat that just went out there and not even a traditional rear naked choke. It was like a face crank that, just went right across the teeth right there. A lot of people thought it broke the jaw. Robert said it didn't break the jaw. It was more the teeth. And I mean, that's painful as hell. So that's a warrant for a tap. I mean, you got your teeth shattered. He said they were bad teeth anyway, so good on him getting those fixed. But I mean, for Kahmzat to go out there and do that to a guy like Whitaker that quickly, it just shows you the level that he's at. And also, Kahmzat was fighting at 170, 185. There's one week where he did 185 and then dropped down to 170 to fight. So at 185, you got a bigger, stronger Kahmzat, and I believe that is gonna benefit him in this title fight, just being a bigger version of himself and being more healthy. The weight cuts, as we all know, are hard in MMA, and you got a guy in DDP that has been just rolling through this division and looking, all in all, pretty solid. I mean, the last hard fight he had was against Strickland. That first fight. And, I mean, he's looked solid all the way around. So, if you go toe-to-toe on it, and, in my opinion, you look at both of their striking categories, they're both high-level strikers. Just one's a little bit more awkward, one's a little bit more, I would say, crisp and clean. And crisp and clean does work, but awkward and sufficient can work a hell of a lot better against a crisp and clean guy. So, striking, if I had to go, like, if it was just a boxing or, stand-up striking fight, is probably gonna go towards DDP. Just because it's hard to gauge a guy that's throwing stuff at awkward angles. He's got a gas tank from hell. He's never gonna wear on you. But this is an MMA fight, so chances are it's gonna go to the ground, and probably quickly, in my opinion. If I was Kahmzat, I would take it there as quick as I could. And, you try to prepare the best you can against a wrestler like him, but if that's your strong suit, take it to your strong suit. On the ground or grappling could be 50-50. Dricus is really big and strong, but as far as wrestling goes, I got to give that to, Kahmzat on the ground. I think if he can weather the power of Dricus, get him to the ground, he's going to find a submission, 100%. Dricus is going to make a mistake. Kahmzat's going to take his back. So I see it kind of going that way. I could see it early on. I don't think Kahmzat's going to be able to go out there and kind of steamroll him how he's been able to do his past opponents. Just go out there, grab a leg, take him down, get a submission, throw a couple punches in the meantime. I think it's going to go to like round 3. I don't think we're going to see around 4 or 5. Only because I feel like Dricus is prepared for the storm, the length of the storm. So Dricus is, in my opinion, is going to want to take this to the max. 4 and 5 rounds, Dricus is going to try to turn up in those rounds. I feel like before 4th round, Kahmzat's going to secure a takedown. Dricus is going to make a mistake, and Kahmzat's going to get a rear naked choke. I truly believe that. I could be dead wrong about this, but just from what I've seen from Dricus's grappling exchanges and stuff, how he kind of turns. After being taken down, he turns kind of quickly, can make some mistakes. So I believe that it's going to be a takedown, and then during the scramble from Dricus trying to get up, Kahmzat's going to get the back and secure a 3rd round rear naked choke finish. You guys let me know what you think about this take. And yeah, UFC 319 this Saturday. Let me know what y'all think. If y'all like this kind of content, doing some MMA stuff, I used to fight. I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, used to wrestle back in high school. Yeah, just let me know and I'll cover some more stuff. I watch UFC and boxing and pretty much all MMA every weekend. So yeah, if y'all like this type of content, let me know down in the chat, comments. Make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll do some more content like this later.